Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. How about we do a little of Roxy's weekly challenge today? I thought we might. No surprises, I guess, if you're a regular here, as I typically do Roxy's weekly challenge on a Wednesday, sometimes a Thursday instead. And I'm just noticing I've got a little white edge that I didn't catch when I was cutting these out. So let's just do that for a start, and then we'll make some things. Hopefully more than one, but we'll see. So this is a project, latest one from Rachel at Roxy Creations, and she was using her digital printout of antique letters. Now I don't have that, and it looks stunning, and I was like, oh yes, I think I'd like that digital, but I don't have it currently. So I was thinking, what could I use instead that I have in my stash? So I have this, and I'm using my digitals today. So this is my, trying to think of the name of it, sheet music covers digital. So I've got 3 pages out of that, and I have backed it with various pages from my eco-dyed pages digital. So I've got 2 different kits, and I think these are from one kit, this is from the other kit. I just love the eco-dyed papers, so I have 2 kits of those available on Etsy, and then I've got this sheet music cover one as well, which the sheet music one is available in both US letter size and A4. So I print in A4, so that's what these are, and I've taken off the white border that my printer leaves. So the idea behind these, which one do I want to start with? Maybe I'll start with this one, the Pretty Rose. Is Rachel's digitals had crease lines where the original letters were folded, and then the letter was written on the paper, then it was folded up and addressed and stamped, and it was sent just like that, not in an actual envelope. Really quite ingenious the way they used to do it. So the idea was to approximate that refolding. Now, I don't have those fold lines, so I'm just going to make it up kind of as we go along. Yeah, and let's just see what happens. And the idea is you can open it out, you can journal on the back, so I've chosen paper that can be written on. And then you have a little pockety sort of bit. Now, which way do I want to do this? Pockety little bit on the back that you can then tuck other bits of ephemera into and make it like this nice cute little bundle of bits and pieces. So I'm maybe I'll fold that in again. I'm not going to do it the same as what Rachel did because I don't have the same supplies. But we're just going to kind of approximate and take the idea and do something fun with it. It doesn't matter whether it's the same or not. It's going to just be something interesting. So this will be my pockety bit here. This will be the front. And so we need side bits, I believe, maybe. I mean, maybe not. Maybe we don't need them, but I'm going to put them in. I'm not sure which way to fold this, so just come along and kind of problem solve it with me, because we don't have any existing crease lines to kind of guide us to where we should fold it. And you can make them whatever size depending on where you fold them. And if you don't have anything like this available, you'll have something else. I'm sure you'll have something else, even if it's a bit of scrapbook paper, thinnish, you wouldn't want it too thick, that you could just kind of do the same kind of thing in. Okay, so that's that one. And the idea is it kind of, and I've done it the wrong way around actually. I'm just kind of going with it and seeing what happens, is you kind of tuck it in, and therefore it closes a little bit. See, it tucks in there like it's going to bed. And it is I mean, it's not folded straight, but that's okay. It's folded. It'll all come apart so you can write on it, but you're left with, actually this is going to be the pocket. I thought I was going to have a bottom pocket. It's actually going to be an upside down pocket. Can we tuck it in the other way perhaps? I've folded that down, haven't I? So no, that won't work. Okay, well, we'll just go with this. It's no biggie. I imagine this could be terribly confusing for you watching because I'm not being very clear on my instructions. But I am literally just trying to work out how to do the idea in front of your eyes. Right, so that tucks in there and you just kind of wrangle it. It will slide, will go down in there until it's nice and tucked away. So that's the front. And here we've got, like, this is upside down. That's okay. We can still work with that. I'm going to do another one. Maybe we'll do three, the three that I've printed off, just to kind of grapple with which way round. So this one, I folded the bottom up and ended up with a upside down pocket. So maybe we need to do that at this end, the top, instead. Let's give it a go. I'm going to fold the top down this time. And gosh, talk about a brain twister. So this is going to fold up. I probably shouldn't crease quite so hard in case I need to change my mind, but I'm still confused. This is a great video, isn't it? So we need this bit to do the tucking. We need to tuck that in there. Okay, let's do the side bits. Because I think the side bits give you that tuckability, if you like. But maybe we'll try it without the side bits and see whether it still works. At the end of the day, I just want to show you that you just grab a bit of paper and play with it, and it's going to work. It just might be different to how you anticipated, but it's still going to work. Okay, so we have this bit. We want this top bit to tuck inside there, and then we'll have the pocket up the right way. Yes, I think that's going to work. Might make this, what's that going to look like? I think that's fine. I'm not worrying about the text, like whether it's showing or not showing or anything. I think it's going to look cool. Whatever peeps out, whatever doesn't. And, you know, when you tuck it in a journal, when you open it out, the person's going to be able to see it all. So I'm not worried about that aspect. So let's tuck this one in. A little bit of encouragement, a bit of wrangling there, and then kind of, once you got it, flatten it all down. So this one, we have that as the front, and then we have this pocket here. So I still think I needed to fold that over. That's interesting. Yeah, no, you can't fold it over, otherwise you haven't got anywhere to tuck your bit. Tuck your thing. Okay. Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. We're learning as we go. Getting a bit crooked on the mat there. So we've got two done. Not straight, doesn't matter. And then this one. So I'm going to fold down the top. I'm trying to think, do we need those side flaps or not? I'm really not entirely sure. So that's going to be the front, I think. Something like that. I guess if we don't have the side flaps, then it's too wide. I mean, you could possibly do it, but it would be too wide for my, too tall for a journal. If you put it in that way, it's going to be too tall, and definitely too wide if you want to tuck it in a journal that way, unless you've got a big journal. Can we just do one side? I don't know. Let's see. Tuck that in there. Fold it that way, I think. And maybe we want to turn that all to the inside. If it doesn't work, we can just go back in and fold down this side as well. So that would just tuck in that one side where we've only done this side crease. Certainly easier to tuck in. It's way easier to tuck in because you're only worrying about one side. Let's flatten it out. Okay, so that also works. Just doing the one fold in on one side, and then you've got to open at that end where you could tuck things. But personally, I don't like it. It works, but I don't like it. I like the more neat kind of finished of the fold on both sides. So my personal preference then is to fold in both sides. And they don't have to be even. I'm making this narrower than the other side. Right, now we can fold it all back up. And you probably don't even need to do this top fold. I just think it's a little bit sturdier when you're, tucking it into the other end. Oh, fingers and thumbs. So I'm a bit sore at the moment. I've been to the gym this morning, had my personal training session, my first one, and I'm carrying a bit of an injury at the moment, which I haven't talked to you about, but it's getting worse and worse. So there was very few activities I could actually do at the gym, and so I went next door to the physio after my personal training session, because they're right next door to each other. They're actually in the same building, and I booked myself in for a physio appointment in the morning because I need to get it sorted. So we've got that as the front, and we've got our pocket here on the back that we can tuck some bits in. So we've got 3 bases, one with an upside down pocket and 2 with the right side up pocket. Again, I'm not worried about the upside down text on the back, because when it's folded out, it'll be the right way up. It's not permanently fixed like this. Just having a wee sip of my coffee here. Okay, let's pop those aside for a moment. And from my other digitals, I've also printed out some bits. So this is from my, I think it's Vintage Floral kit on Etsy. And I've chosen, these are actually full pages, but I've printed them off 4 to a page because I wanted them as little journal cards. And I need to back them. I've also printed off from the sheet music cover 4 of the covers. So these are different 4 to these 3. I need to back these as well, and I've also done those 4 to a page just to get a really nice journal card size. So I'm trying to think, oh, excuse me, don't know where that gas is coming from. Maybe it's the exercise. Whether I cut them out and back them, or whether I back them then cut them out. I did think about double siding, double printing on the back, but I thought I want them a little more sturdy than that. Got some offcuts of coffee dyed paper with that. It's not quite long enough if I tore it in half. I'm just looking at what scraps I've got around that we might be able to use. Okay, I think I'm going to separate them out roughly, back them, and then cut them out properly, just so I know where I'm sticking the paper. I'm going to get the whole thing covered more or less. So I feel very discombobulated actually in today's video, and I could be the same tomorrow possibly, because I've got the physio appointment, although it's later in the morning. Got the physio appointment, and then I've got food bank in the afternoon, and I'll have to pretty much go straight from the physio to the food bank. So I don't know what I'll do for lunch. Maybe pick something up on the way as I drive to the food bank. And I've still got heaps of videos to do. So yeah, going to be an interesting week, my friends. Strap in for the ride and come along, and together we'll get to the other end. We will. Come what may. Isn't that a line from a song? Come what may. What's that off of? Is it Moulin Rouge? I think it is Moulin Rouge. Love that movie. Ewan McGregor. Oh my gosh, what a voice. It was the first movie I saw him in where he, you know, showed off his voice, and wow, beautiful. We might as well do this one while we're here. What's your favourite movie where there's singing? Some people don't like movies where there's singing. I am quite a fan actually of movies with singing in. That's why I really like Disney ones, because there's a lot of singing in Disney films, typically. But yeah, I think my favourite probably was Moulin Rouge, my favourite musical film. But my favourite now is definitely The Greatest Showman. Love it. And again, Hugh Jackman, what a voice. Just stunning. And the first time I heard him sing was actually in a TV ad. I can't even remember what the ad was for now. I don't know if you know the ad. Might have just been an Australia-New Zealand one. But yeah, do love a bit of singing. It just makes me feel happy, and like more than happy, joyful. It lifts me up, and I just go around singing for, you know, a good wee while afterwards. Right, okay, so I've just roughly cut them out. Whether that's the ideal way to go, well, don't know. I'm just kind of making it up. Right, will that fit on there? Yes, that will fit on there, so that will take care of those. Let's find a glue stick with glue in it. That one. And I've got that white border, so I can pretty much get all the area covered that I need to without my tacky glue. So I'm just going to use glue stick, and if I find I've missed some gaps, then I'll go in with the tacky glue and get like corners or something where I didn't get right to the edge. Right, so we'll have to find some more paper for the rest. Right to that. Oh, I'm going to be trimming it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oops. And then in from the back. Just allows you to put more pressure on without damaging your pretty side. You know, because if you're pressing really hard, you might catch it and tear it, or your card might be dirty and it might leave a dirty streak on the front. You know, anything can happen. So I really do like going in from the back to give a good press where possible. Depends what you're gluing onto. Sometimes you can't. Right, so that's that one. We might be able to fit something on here. I think we'll need to cut them apart to do that. So these, what we're making now is things to stuff in the pockets on our little folded up bits. And I think I'm just going to do one of each pretty much of these 2 cards. And we might just finish off one. And then we can always come back and do more if we've got some more time. But I want to completely finish one so you can see it in entirety, because there's still some bits to do. Okay, so just going to do this one. Oops. Right, I think guillotine should be fine for these. Might be a bit quicker. Haven't got a straight edge to cut against, but oh, this, yes, is that a straight edge? As long as I've glued it on straight, we should be fine. Just going for it. So it was quite nice at the gym. Hubby and I normally go in the evening, but of course because of my personal training session, my appointment was for the morning, and caught up with a good friend of mine who I haven't seen for, beginning of May, maybe. We were meant to go out for dinner with them, but hubby was sick. You probably remember me talking about that. But hubby ended up sick, so we couldn't go, and we haven't seen them since their daughter's 5th birthday party. So that was nice to just have a quick catch up. I mean, she was busy working out and I was busy with the trainer, and we just had a little chat after I'd finished. So it wasn't a big catch up, but it was still a catch up, and that was lovely. And then I went next door to the physio and made my appointment. And the prices for the physio were a little better than I was anticipating. So that was good. I mean, it's still not cheap, but I've got to the point where I have to get something done about this issue, because I can't even reach my arm. You know, if hubby wants to pass something to me, it's very painful just to reach out and try and take what he's trying to give me. It's just, yeah, it's not good. And carrying boxes for the food bank, I don't think is helping, unfortunately. I'm trying not to, but sometimes you've just got to do. And yeah, I'm sick of being in pain, really. It's just really sucks. Very much sucks. If it's not one thing, it's another. It's so annoying. But everybody's got their issues, don't we? There's always something going on in our lives that's not ideal. Just think sometimes my body's got a conspiracy out against me. It's like you get dealt with one thing and then something else crops up, and it's like, really? Just stop it, would you? Just stop it. Right. So we've prepared 3 because that's just how many I had backed. Oops, probably don't want that on camera. Let's just pop it in the rubbish. So they will tuck into one of these. Yeah, just a little bit there. We could turn it round and do them that way. Now, do I want the one that really tones in? It's got a rose on it. Or I think so. I think the pink wouldn't quite be the vibe. So they can tuck in there. And I think Rachel put 3 things. We could also, what could we do? Actually, why don't we do a bit of this? Let's just tear it in half. Another way to use up scraps. And would that work? Yep, that will work. Fold it in half that way so it's a little fold out bit of paper just for journaling on, or collage or something, you know, however a person would like to use it. It's not wanting to fold straight for some reason. Give it a little encouragement. There we go. And that's got writing on it, so we can just pop that in that way. So cute. Now I thought, we don't have the like address and postmark and all that stuff that Rachel has on the digitals of the antique letters, but no reason why we can't mock something up. And I thought, if I grab the right container, what about one of my faux postage stamps? You could use a real stamp, but I've made these, and I think, how cute would it to be to use one of my faux postage stamps? That one, I think, stands out nicely. I felt this one was, even with the pretty flower, was kind of a bit blendy. I've got the favourite daffodils. There's a couple of you people have told me that the daffodil one's your favourite. And there's flowers here. That's quite nice, isn't it? Why not? Let's use it. So, glue stick, I think. So that's from Trashcraft Tuesday, doing these. No, it wasn't actually. It was using small images. I apologise. Telling you the wrong thing. From last Friday's video. So let's pop it there. So we are gluing it on, so it will cover something, but that's fine. And then I've got my little postmark stamps here. Now I was having a little conversation and comments with Mari about what you could use if you don't have any postmark stamps. Quite often you'll pick up a set of stamps that has like one in it or something, and that's all you need. Like, you don't need heaps, but I really like this set here. But for your lines, you can use corrugated cardboard. I don't have any ready behind me, but if you take the flat layer off your corrugated cardboard and you've just left with the ridges, you can put ink on that and just do a little section to get your postage lines, or you could hand draw them in. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you might have another type of stamp that does a line and you just stamp it several times. Round stamps, use any round stamp. It doesn't have to be a postmark. It's just meant to kind of look like one. Or you could use a bottle cap or a cork or anything that will make some sort of round impression. Like, think outside the square. See what you've got around you that you could use to approximate a postage stamp. And then if you wanted to make it like from a certain region or something, you could just write with a black pen. If you've stamped in black, just write it out. Like, make it up, fake it. Just another way to get creative. So I've already postmarked that, but I want to bring it on to, you know, add a bit more onto our piece. And this is a fun 3 round stamps together. So just grab out my VersaFine, and where would I like to stamp it? Just going to go there, and it didn't stamp perfectly because of all those folds, and I don't mind. I think that's absolutely brilliant. So you don't need a proper stamp because, you know, especially if it's not stamped properly, it just gives that that feel of a postmark stamp. So that's a really good example actually of, you know, don't worry if you don't have one that's not going to give you everything you need, because it just needs to have a hint of something. And this one's interesting. I realized it's actually a flag. Now, I don't know if that's a postmark in the US. It's an American flag, and it's kind of distressed at the end, like it's all torn up, and it's got a little flagpole on this end. It's like, is that actually a postmark that they use in the States, or is it just like a flag that they've turned into a postmark for a fun stamp? Because I've never seen one like that before. I don't know. Somebody might be able to fill me in whether it's actually a postmark stamp. You might just go there. It's fun though. It's really fun. Now again, you could use coffee ring stamps as well as postmarks, or you could then now go in and do some coffee stains, like it's an old letter that's been sitting around under a coffee cup or on a coffee table, got a bit of, a bit of damage here and there, a bit of age. You can do all sorts of fun things to dress these up, to make them unique, to make them yours. Shall we do some coffee rings? Just because I love using the coffee rings. Any excuse, eh? You know, got the stamps, why not use them? Let's grab them out. Which I'm having to be very careful to do because it hurts my shoulder. So I'm making sure that I support the weight with my other hand, you know, the weight of what I'm trying to pick up where I can. Come on, coffee rings, where are you? Thought you would be near the front. Just rustling in my bin. Oh, they're right near the back. There we go. So let's grab out coffee ink, if I can find it. There we go, right at the bottom. And which one do we want? Oh, what about this nice splatter one? It's got a few decent sort of sprays out. I think that could be quite fun on here. Now again, it's not going to stamp perfectly, most likely because of the folds that we've got in there. You could unfold it and stamp it, but I don't care. I just think it's fun however it turns out. So I might just slip a page in there so we can do a bit of like off the side there. And do we want to put something on the back? Why not? Let's go for it. That's fun. And maybe I'll use another one. Because you're unlikely to get exactly the same spill pattern, are you? Even if it's the same cup of coffee, it's going to be different if you splosh it again. Yeah, awesome. And then maybe a bit there. Cool. Don't want to go overboard. That's probably sufficient. This person's been very messy with their letter left on the table. Okay, so that is the concept. And you can tuck whatever you like in the pocket. It could be tags, journal cards, just bits of paper, even book page if you want to provide some bits to be used for collage or what have you. So I think that's fun. Oh, the other thing Rachel did. That's right, she did a band around them. I forgot about that bit. What can we use as a band? Just wondering whether this would be long enough. This is a bit of calendar. It's not going to fit. No, it's not long enough. Oh well. That was a thought. Didn't get us very far. So just grabbing out my stash of digital bits, looking for something either that of, see there's the, well it's not full size, I've already taken a chunk off it, the rose page there. This is a failed print. It's got all sorts of streaks and lines and stuff through it, but maybe we'll use that one, because after all, you know, take a strip off it and the streaks and lines won't be such an issue. I certainly wouldn't use it as a whole page because it's completely the wrong colour, and yeah, the printer was having a real nightmare on that one for whatever reason. It's an old print off, so it may have been my old printer that, oh, it was a terrible printer. I bought it second hand and was told that it was, you know, it still worked, it was all fine, and it had lots of spare ink with it, and so I used it for a bit and it worked okay for a bit, like a month. And then one of the inks ran out, so I grabbed all the bag of inks that came with it, and not one of them matched the printer. They were all the wrong cartridges. And then the printer just started doing weird things and just ended up taking it to a electronic recycling place because it was just a dog. It was very much a dog, and not a good dog. It was a bad dog, naughty dog. And I was like, well, that was a waste of money, unfortunately. And it was, even when it printed okay, it was never great. You know, live and learn. Always be wary if you're buying something secondhand online. You just don't know. And I'm sure this person was being completely honest in their knowledge and understanding since they'd last used it, that everything was fine. But it wasn't. It was very short-lived printer in my environs. So it was a waste of $80. I think I would have rather spent the $80 to buy the expensive ink for my other printer that I had before that one, which is still fine. But we don't use it because it's just expensive to run. I think I would have rather spent the $80 on ink for that printer and had some good, decent prints. But anyway, you don't need to know all that, do you? It's all just griping, really. Right, just going to tear a strip off. Hopefully this is long enough. It should be, I think. And it's a totally different colour to what we've got going on in our piece here. And so wrapping it round. Oh, is it actually going to be too short? It is. Wow. Okay. Do I need to grab a bit of scrapbook paper then? Or could we do something else, like put a little patchy bit in there? Maybe we'll just do another little, yeah, okay. Maybe Rachel's were folded smaller than what I've done. I'm just going to guesstimate the width. I'm not going to worry about trying to match the same width as this. It's just going to be close enough is good enough. Right, so that will go around there, and then it just slides off. It's just almost just like an added decoration, really. So if we put a little patch in there, it's slightly narrower, and that's fine. So just gonna and I'll put that on the underside, and then just use a bit of washi across it, and then we'll be fine. Just looking around for what washi tape I might want. No. Just looking at the colours I've got going on. I've got quite an eclectic mix. Maybe this one down here might work. Yeah, that'll be okay. It's not perfect match, but it will be fine. Because I've got quite a range of colours going on now. Just position it there. Put a strip of washi across it. And there we go. And so it can slide on and off, so that it can be opened out. And it's just purely decoration. It's not needed, but it's fun. And we could, I don't know if Rachel did, but we could put something on here to decorate it even more. So I think I might do that because it's fun. What would I like to use? Could put a faux label, hand stamped label. Do we want to splash a colour? That's probably a bit much. I was kind of thinking of having it overhanging the band. This is one actually made from, is it this paper? It's made from one of these sheet music covers. I kind of like that, but not the red. Don't know that the purple, no, not the purple either. Don't know if I've got it in any other colours. Being very specific, aren't I? I know, I know. I mean, I don't mind the colours, even though there's no green. Oh, I like that one actually. And we've got green over here, so to me that balances visually. Just got to keep trying, don't you? Keep trying. Sometimes I give up too easily and go, that one will be fine. That one will do. It'll do. But it is worth sometimes, if you've got the time, just to keep trialing until you go, yep, that's it. Because you just know when you see it. You go, yep, that pleases my eye. Don't worry about whether it's going to please anyone else's eye. Just worry about it pleasing yours, even if you're making it for sale. Because if you like it, there will be other people out there that like that same aesthetic. So don't overthink things. Don't think about, oh, I like that, but nobody else probably will, or my style's crazy, or, you know, whatever. There will be other people out there who absolutely love your style too. Yeah, so just do you, and find your people. Okay, so there we have one complete, and I think I'm going to call it a video at this point. My arms and my shoulders feeling after being at the gym and having to hold my arms up while I'm working at my desk, I think it's just a little bit ouchy, if you know what I mean. It's just a little bit ouchy. So I will call it quits there. So we've got these two bases. I just need to stuff the pockets, put a band on, and if I want to, decorate up the front like I did here. Don't have to, but I think it's fun. Yeah, I think it's really cool. And I love how it all folds up together, and it's just a nice little compact bit to pop in a pocket, clip on a page, or send in happy mail. Fun, fun, fun. I might make these, some of these for my Patreon mail, I think, for August's Patreon mail. So there we are, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great afternoon or evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care, my friends. Bye for now.